What's up, guys? This is LPC Nano. I'm back again. This is the USA versus Peru post-game show. A good 1-1 draw, entertaining, if a little disappointing. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to give you the player ratings and some thoughts about the game.
Into one, like England behind Giroud. Competition in the world. No team has won it more than Arsenal.
So welcome back. I hope you watched the game last night. It was entertaining 1-1 draw with Peru. Josh Sargent got off the mark, gave the USA a 1-0 lead, which they managed to hang on to for about 30-35 minutes until Edison Flores late in the, I think it was the 84th minute, managed to equalize for Peru off a really good ball across the face of the goal. Kind of disappointing to see the USA give up a goal like that. It was DeAndre Yedlin's uncharacteristic sloppiness that really cost us the game. He came on, less than a minute later, they put that ball across. He was asleep on the back post. It was an easy goal for Flores. So, I mean, yesterday if you told me we got a 1-1 result with a really good team like Peru is, really underestimated team like Peru is, I would have been very happy. But, considering how the game played out, I felt the USA could have walked away with more. But you give and you take. This team is so close to turning that corner. This young side without Christian Pulisic, without Tyler Adams, without Weston McKennie, they were so close to turning that corner last night. You could see it. It was there. They went from a first half of being dominated, their center mids being really exposed, Ben Sweat being exposed down the left back, to the second half where we looked really good at times. We're playing out from the back. There's even one point when the announcers compared us to Manchester City. That's an insult to Manchester City. But still, we looked that good in the second half. I mean, they were dominating possession, playing out from the back, creating chances. Really good. But 1-1, final result. Good performance means nothing without result. So, here's your player ratings. Starting off, we have Brad Guzan, who played in goal. I had to think about it a little bit. I'm going to give Guzan a 6. Might seem a little harsh, but he could have done a little bit better with the goal. He looked kind of silly on the goal. I'm not going to lie. He was flying around, kind of flailing. It wasn't a great finish. I mean, it was an easy finish. He should have done better with it. Flores should have. But so should Guzan. But then again, he did make a fantastic save on a crazy free kick in stoppage time to preserve the tie. So, Guzan a 6 might be a little harsh. He could probably make the argument for a 7. But Brad Guzan, giving you a 6. Ben Sweat out at left back. The first half was not good for Ben Sweat. He was kind of out of position, flailing, chasing. Puyo had him on skates out there, created several really good scoring chances. But in the second half, he looked better. Never really got going forward, but he was better positionally, more sound defensively. So I'm going to give Ben Sweat a 6. This was his debut, and he was facing a tricky winger. And one thing I will say about Ben Sweat is he is not afraid to slide. Holy cow, that man was sliding everywhere. There was one point when one of the Peru players put a cross in. About 2 seconds after he put that cross in, here you see Ben Sweat just flying right across the front of him. I was like, oh my gosh, gave me a heart attack just watching. But Ben Sweat a 6. Decent performance for a first outing. Needs to improve defensively. Moving into our first center back, Aaron Long. I thought Long had a solid, if unspectacular game. I'm going to give him a 7. I guess if you want defensive stability, you want your center backs to be unspectacular. You don't want them having to make spectacular plays. Aaron Long did not have to. He played solidly. His positioning was good. His lack of speed was telling a couple times. Some people around the corners on him, but it never really cost the United States. So for a first debut, I'm going to give Aaron Long a 7. Needs to improve his composure a little bit more, but I could see him earning a place in this first team regularly. Cameron Carter-Vickers, I'm going to go with a 7. He made a couple of huge stops for us, a couple of crucial tackles. He kind of always does that. I feel like he's kind of flying in, making these desperate tackles all the time. But then again, he still gets caught out of position at times, like on the goal. I feel like he could have been hanging a little bit deeper. I mean, that wasn't really his fault. It was still DeAndre Yedlin's fault, but maybe Cameron Carter-Vickers could have positioned himself a little bit better to handle that ball better. I don't know. It was there. It was difficult. No matter what, that was a world-class ball. That would have been difficult to handle for any center back in the world. So maybe I'll be a little harsh on Cameron Carter-Vickers, but a 7 I think is very fair. Moving into Reggie Cannon at right back. He looked really good, especially in the first 20-25 minutes. He was moving forward. He almost drew a penalty. He created a couple of really good link-up plays down the sideline. The end product wasn't really there, but I wasn't really expecting a whole lot out of Cannon going forward, so I was pleasantly surprised by what we got. Defensively, he looked solid. A couple of times he was beat with speed, and they were really playing well through the middle in the first half. They were splitting our center mids, playing it wide, doing 2-on-1 wide. Difficult position for Cannon and Sweat, but he handled it pretty well. So I think a 7 is fair. Needs to just polish up his touch a little bit, but a good performance from Reggie Cannon. Will Trapp, I'm gonna give him a 6. I mean, I guess he was a decent defensive performance, but I'm just really disappointed because I thought Will Trapp had the potential to replace Michael Bradley as kind of a center stopper role. I don't think he's going to. I desperately want someone to replace Michael Bradley, but I don't think it's going to be Will Trapp. He just offers nothing going forward. I mean, he's composed-ish in possession. There are moments when he worries you. He's solid defensively, but we need someone who can also play that long diagonal ball and be dangerous from the back, ping passes from the back, and that's not going to be Will Trapp. I'm sorry. He's a decent player, but I don't really see a future in the national team for Will Trapp. But a decent performance, I'm going to give him a 6. Jonathan Damone, he started on the left, finished on the right. I'm going to give him a 7 because I thought he looked really good early. His speed and ability are very, very obvious. There was at one point when he tried to bend the ball with his outside of his right foot to a wide open Tim Way. I wish he'd hit it. It would have been an excellent assist. But still, he was turning players over when he was pressing him, but then they were doing the same to him. He was a little bit slow on the ball. That just comes with experience, with time. But I really liked what I saw out of him. To be only 19, he looks dangerous. When he gets a little experience under his belt, he's going to be a first-team regular for the United States. Definitely a good substitute to have on the bench. So a 7 for Jonathan Damone. Kellen Acosta, I'm going to give him a 7. Could have been better. Honestly, Acosta looked at most of the game our most dangerous player. He can burst forward. He can make athletic plays. He's aggressive. He's smart. But his touch is just bad in bad moments. Right when he needs that just feather touch to lay it on his foot so he can have a shot, it hits a load of bricks on his foot. I mean, he's a very, very good player, very talented, it's obvious, but his touch lets him down in important moments, and it does consistently, which is something that needs to be fixed. He did leave with a minor injury. I hope he's okay. He took a hard fall, so I hope that Kellen Acosta is okay. A 7 for last night's game. Delgado, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm going to give him a 6, mainly because I just forgot he was out there. I mean, he didn't do anything bad, but he didn't do anything good either. So 6, I really don't have anything to say about Delgado, surprisingly. Tim Weah, I'm going to give Tim Weah an 8. Probably a little bit of an over-exaggeration. I'm a big Tim Weah fan, in case you can't tell. I rate him very, very highly. He looks so dangerous at all times. Every time he gets the ball, you feel like something could happen. He makes good runs. He links up with Josh Sargent really well. I loved that last night. You can tell the two of them were combining. They were playing through for each other. They were looking for each other on those dangerous runs, which I loved. I love to see that aggression in the final third. He just needs a little bit more composure. Hit a couple times when he had a couple of good shots. He flashed them wide. I just want him to be able to put his foot through the ball and at least work the keeper in those instances. But he looked really dangerous. I love the connection he has with Josh Sargent, and I love Tim Weah. So I'm going to give him an 8. Last but not least, my man of the match, Josh Sargent. I'm going to give him a 9. Definitely no over-exaggeration on this one, but I loved what I saw out of Josh Sargent last night. Early on, he looked a little rattled. It was only his second ever start, and definitely against a better team than his first start. But he responded well. The goal was well taken. Very well taken, actually. He still had a lot of work to do with that. Got a little lucky with the deflection, but still, a goal's a goal. 2 goals in his 2 starts. That's a pretty good ratio for Josh Sargent there. His hold-up play was really, really good. He was left on an island a lot in the first half, and he still managed to hold it up very well with a very high completion rate. His flicks and tricks, it's obvious that he has ability. I mean, he was linking up. He was finding players. The chance earlier where Ramon almost had to assist away, it happened because Josh Sargent worked out a double team with a little flick to Jonathan Damone. So I'm very high on him, and his composure in the box is my favorite skill about him. At one point, they played the ball through, and it looked like he was going to take a touch wide and shoot. He took the touch, cut it back, completely beat a defender, played it across for Weah, and Weah smashed it wide. It was an excellent chance created, all because of Josh Sargent's composure. Very high on Josh Sargent. So a 9, probably a little bit of an exaggeration, but he's definitely the man of the match in my book. A couple of subs came on. I didn't feel like any of them really made an impact, to be fair. Except for Yedlin had a negative impact. I'm really high on Yedlin, but that was a very, very sloppy play. He won't want whatever his name is out at Newcastle, Benitez, to see that because that was very sloppy. Michael Bradley moved up into 3rd all-time the U.S. caps list in other news. Yay. And if you missed the halftime Taylor Twellman rant, you need to go watch it on YouTube because it was pretty entertaining. And not incorrect at all, but that is for a whole other video because I'd keep going about that forever. Overall team grade, I'm going to give it a flat B. A good result against a really underestimated team, but it could have been better. It could have been better. It's so close. We're so close to turning that corner. We will turn that corner. The USA is going to be a really good team in the next 3 to 4 years, in this next World Cup cycle. The fans, I'm going to give them a C. Kind of lucky they didn't get worse. They didn't fill the stadium out. They were just a tiny, as far as I could tell, it was pretty much an even split, Peru-USA, and they were out-yelled by Peru fans. But, I mean, I guess, a cold night in Connecticut, I don't know, C's probably even too high for them. Really disappointed with how the U.S. Men's National Team fans have been coming out. I understand it's a big time for sports. There's a lot of stuff going on. With the women's team, too. Half-filled stadiums, come on. I mean, we need to be supporting our teams, supporting our clubs. So, very disappointed with USA's fans. Grading Dave, I'm going to give Dave a B-. I did not like the 4-1-4-1. I think it's crap. Obviously, it was exposed in the first half. They were playing right through the center of the park and then playing off their forwards wide. They were exposing us. Will Trapp was just running around. They were taking Acosta and Delgado right out of the game. But he did make the switch in the second half. He dropped Acosta deeper. And one thing that I really, really liked that he did was he switched Weah and Amon, which forced Porio and the right back, whose name I've forgotten, to respect our attack more. And you noticed a lessening in their impact on that right side of the field. So I really like those switches from Dave. I mean, he was kind of forced into the substitution for Yedlin for Cannon. Cannon picked up a little bit of a knock. So you can't really blame him for that. So a B-, I feel like it's fair. He made the adjustments, even though he came out in the wrong formation. So that's all you can ask is making the adjustments. So B- for Dave. Well, that's all the player grades for this international cycle. This was the last game of this cycle. The USA still has England next at Wembley. And then Italy, still a little bit of a gauntlet left for this year. We need to find a daggum coach, so get on Twitter, at the U.S. Men's National Team, tell them to find a coach. But another bright news, the Premier League is back this weekend. A couple of really good games. United and Chelsea kicking it off Saturday morning. Be there, be square, be right here next week. I'll bring you the amateur hour. You still have this week's amateur hour coming probably Friday, so be ready for that. And you guys enjoy your wonderful, wonderful weekend. I'll catch you next time.